Okay, it is July 31st, day 29 of my 2024 PCT hike. I stayed at Pass Creek Annex Campground last night, National Forest Service, and was going to sleep in until 6, but then there's a timber felling operation probably a half mile away, right actually on the trail where the trail passes through, and that woke me up at exactly 5 o'clock. I did not know that timber fellers started that early. It wasn't even light yet. Anyway, so I only have about 12 miles to hike. Not gonna be in any rush because Karen's meeting me at the where the trail crosses Highway 88, I don't know, something like that, near Sierra City. So looking forward to that, and it's been a fun hike this year, but the last 5 days anyway, from South Lake Tahoe north has not been the best hiking, scenic wise and everything else. Anyway, on the trail, or actually not on the trail, I'm walking up the road to get to the trail, so should be there soon. There's your timber felling operation. Looks like the big trucks have cleared out, but he's got a tree there dragging it out. And I am back on trail. Woohoo! No bicycles, remember that, all you bicyclists. Yeah, there is smoke hanging in the air now, so the smoke from the wildfires up north is definitely making its way down here. Definitely, I can smell it too. Alright, while I'm walking, I'll give you some commentary summarizing the hike. So let's see, 2024, I covered the section from Kennedy Meadows South, which is mile 70. I was actually at 706, which is the campground. And I went up to, or I will be going to Sierra City, which is mile 1197 roughly. So highlights, the Sierra was absolutely awesome. It was exactly what I thought it would be based on my previous experience there and studying maps of the terrain that I was going to be going through. The 5 high passes, Forester, Glen, Pinchot, Mather, Muir, were every bit of the challenge that I thought they would be. Just incredibly beautiful and rugged and challenging. So what else? Evolution Basin, that whole area, Palisade Basin, just incredible, the beauty of stark granite and above tree line, just ruggedness. It was incredible. Let's see. So the Sierra definitely highlight. Once I got north of Lake Tahoe, the hike for me got a little bit on the, God darn it, mosquitoes already. A little bit on the boring side. I hate Northern California dirt. It gets everywhere. It's fine, powdery, nasty dirt. And the scenery, frankly, is just, I mean, it's nice. It's forest, hills and forest, but not spectacular. So I'm not sad to be done with this section of NorCal today. I pick up next year at mile 1502 or whatever near Dunsmuir, which will give me another dose of this NorCal dirt, at least till I get up into Oregon. But I'm looking forward to Washington. Okay, another thing, let's see. Adversity or challenges. So snow was not one of them this year in the Sierra. After the short distance I was in the Sierra last year in the snow, the contrast was incredible. It was I won't say easy this year, but definitely took away one of the bigger challenges. I did run across some late afternoon or afternoon thunderstorms and some lightning nearby. That was kind of scary, but just hunkered down and waited it out for the most part. Heavy downpour while I was hiking. Again, just waited it out, no big deal. Stream crossings were not that bad this year. I never got in a situation where I felt like I was in any kind of danger whatsoever. But in YouTube land, there's always a lot of drama and a lot of, I don't know, self-created challenges maybe to get clicks and views. But overall, the trail is, although physically and mentally challenging, it's not real adversity, it's self-induced adversity, and frankly, it's a privilege to be able to do this. And I'm one of the lucky few that is able to do it, from a financial perspective and from a physical perspective. So there were some challenges, but no real adversity, and that's the way it should be. Whatever challenges we deal with on the trail, it's nothing compared to what people deal with in everyday life. Those are the real challenges. This is a vacation, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It's a vacation, and most of the time it is actually fun. Certainly the experience as a whole is one I'll never forget. I'm not done yet, but again, this is an absolute privilege to be able to do this. Here you can get a really good view of smoke hanging in the air. It's probably a good time to be getting off trail. Hate to be breathing this stuff for too much longer. That's the other challenge, is injuries. In the past, when I did the desert in 2022, and then last year part of the Sierra, and then a chunk of NorCal, I did not have any problems with injuries. This year, I had a shin and knee issue on the right side, and I think obviously they're related. Started out feeling like a shin splint, and then it moved up. Felt like a weakness in the knee, and it wasn't getting any better for obvious reasons. I kept putting on mileage, and so in South Lake Tahoe, I bought a soft brace from CVS. See if I can get a view of this here. One of those things for my knee, and it definitely helped add some stability. Hasn't fully resolved, but it hasn't gotten any worse. If I was not section hiking, wherever I was in the trail, I would take some days off and try to resolve it, and I think that would do it. So I've been lucky, but a lot of people do fall prey to overuse injuries on the trail. A couple that I met earlier, Pudding and Karma, they had run across two people who had to get off trail permanently and at least for this year, and let things heal. So it does happen, and I've been lucky that it hasn't stopped me overall. Oh, another thing, very common injury, I'll classify it as an injury, is blisters on the trail. I found a specific brand and model of shoe that I liked and that fit me great 3 years ago, and I bought a bunch of pairs of those shoes, and I've been wearing them ever since, and I haven't gotten any blisters. This year I did get a little rubbing between my second toe and my big toe on both sides, but just a little bit of Leukotape fixed that, and I have not had any issues with my feet at all, which just makes hiking so much more fun when you're not dealing with feet on fire or blisters or whatever. So but they don't make the model of shoe that I wear anymore. Like I said, I bought a bunch of them, but I'm gonna have to find a different shoe. It's the Ultra Olympus 4, and I will say that it's not a very durable shoe, but when it's lightweight and is that comfortable, you just have to expect to replace them more often. So blisters have not been a problem, and I'm thankful for that. The other challenge that I forgot to mention is mosquitoes. Oh my God. There were some spots, especially in the high Sierra, where it was like a black fog. But the only way to deal with that is just to stay covered up. I don't like to use DEET, just because I can't wash my hands very much out here, and I wear contacts, and I just don't want to get that stuff in my eyes. And so, but you just cover up, and I just wear my rain gear, and I have a head net, although I only wore that a few times. And so the mosquitoes are just an irritant more than anything. You sweat your ass off when you're wearing your rain gear and you're going uphill, but beats the heck out of getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, and they were just voracious. It was unbelievable. Anyway, mosquitoes, pain in the ass. I don't recommend hiking in them. thoughts on hiking alone versus in groups. For whatever reason this year, I didn't sync up with anybody that was hiking at the same pace through the Sierra, so ended up hiking alone the whole way, camping alone mostly too. There are advantages and disadvantages. One advantage is no group decisions, so it's all on me. That can be a disadvantage if you have challenges like stream crossings or steep snow traverses or other problems that you run into that, group decisions could be an advantage. And certainly having other people around in the event that something goes wrong is an advantage. I hiked in 2022 in the desert. I think it's easier to meet up with people and get into a rhythm hiking with people when you start at the border, because everybody's kind of figuring it out at the same time, so you can fall into a group more easily. Once you get further north, the so-called trail families have for the most part been established, and there's a bit of a clique mentality. People don't want to accept new people into their groups. Not that I've run into that, but it's definitely human nature. So let's see. So I've hiked in groups. 2022, hiked with a bunch of people I talked about earlier. 2023, I hiked with two different couples that I talked about earlier at different stages. And then this year, alone. I think I prefer another 2 hikers or so, because that's the right amount for being able to find camp spots and just not having too many different variables involved in decision making, about where to resupply, etc. So I guess given the choice, I'd hike with two-ish other people, but sometimes you don't have a choice. It's been nice being alone too, but it would have been nice to have some companionship and somebody to talk to. But still been good. No complaints. Okay, resupply strategy for this year. This year, unlike previous years, I had my wonderful wife Karen, trail angel for me. She drove all over California to help me out at different places. Kearsarge Pass, Onion Valley, Campground Mammoth Lakes, Sonora Pass, and then now today she's picking me up in Sierra City. So just wonderful having that kind of support. Thank you, honey. Love you very much. So in previous years, desert 2022, I resupplied along the way. I didn't send myself any boxes to post office. I just shopped out of the local stores. That worked out fine. That's the way I prefer to do it. And you can support the local economy. Sometimes it gets expensive, but it's nice to have that resource there for hikers. Last year, Karen supported me at Kearsarge Pass when I came out of the Sierra, and the plan was she was going to do essentially what she was going to do what she did this year for me, which is help me out at different resupply points. But since I exited the Sierra and went north from Sierra City north, I resupplied in the local towns, and that worked out fine for me. This year, so the strategy was I'd do it was 6 days from Kennedy Meadows to Kearsarge, 5 days from Kearsarge to Mammoth, 5 days to Sonora Pass, 3 days to South Lake Tahoe, and then 5 days from South Lake Tahoe to Sierra City. That worked out great for me. It's kind of an optimum for me because I don't, there's a balance between the lower the mileage, the more food you have to carry because you're hiking more days. So for me, 20-ish mile days, 20 plus, works well. Kind of an optimum balance between food weight and wear and tear on the body. Although there's definitely wear and tear on the body with 20-mile days. Some of the kids do 30s, maybe not through this area, but I'm not a kid. I'm lucky to be able to do 20s and maintain it over time. So anyway, that resupply strategy worked well for me. And next year I'll have to think about it because the resupply points stores specifically are fewer and farther between once you get up into Washington in that area. So all right, well, I think that's all I want to say on that. All right, there's Milton Spring, 100 feet. That's within my newly established 150-foot off-trail criterion, so I could go there, but I actually don't need water right now. Just met a man back there from San Diego County, trail name Barn Fart. I didn't ask. It's funny, he had hiked from San Diego north to Chester and then got stopped by the fire, so he turned around and he said he was covering some of the sections that he liked over again, and this was one of them. So just goes to show you, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Definitely not my favorite section, but good for him that he likes it. Closing thoughts on 2024. I hiked from Kennedy Meadows South to, well, I'm not quite to Sierra City, but almost there. And that amounts to a little under 500 miles, but let's just call it 500 even, including bonus miles for either boneheadedness and or resupplies and stuff like that. So I got to see everything from the beauty of the High Sierra, high stark granite, just unbelievably beautiful, all the way to that brown NorCal dirt that gets everywhere between the toes, inside the shoes, everywhere. So saw a little bit of everything. I'm thankful and privileged to be able to do this. It's just a wonderful contrast to everyday life. Just getting back to nature, as they say. Next year, hopefully finish the trail from Dunsmuir, California, all the way up to the Washington border, if the wildfire situation allows. That's going to be a whole new adventure. I'm looking forward to Washington. Not so much Northern California and Oregon, but there's always something in there that surprises you. Something you like that you wouldn't necessarily think that you'd like. Example being the desert. In 2022, I actually enjoyed that a lot. So that's it for this year. I plan to do the videos again next year. If not for your entertainment, the entertainment value is probably lacking, but for me, so when I'm 90, if I get there, I can look back on the fun stuff I did when I was young and able. Okay, that's it. Till next year. And here's my trail angel. Hi, honey. Look at that beautiful steel arch construction. That is an awesome bridge. You okay? Oh, that's why. Wow. Holy cow. My gosh. This is the highway that goes into Sierra City. Sierra City is that way. And then this is where Karen dropped me off last year to continue northbound, so I have to touch this trail here. And then we'll call it a complete 1,502 miles completed so far. Whew. Oh man, that was easy.